Hello guys, welcome back to our channel. So this evening we are talking about the possibility of P2B winning 2027 election.
But let
Before
me give
we
him a tip.
analyze
If you really want to see the back of the president, let me tell you for what he will do. And I think they may be on the path to really achieving that. Let Rufai convince the Muslim North. If he's able to do that, I know he can. He has the capacity to look towards the south for a candidate to support, specifically the southeast. If I let me put it straight, the day Rufai decides and is able to galvanize the opinion molders in the north to zero down on a P2B, for instance, as the candidate, that will be the end of the Tinubu administration.
Guys, so many people are of the opinion that the major reason why, although we know that there are some other hands into the matter, but another reason why P2B did not win 2023 election is the existence of Atiku. You get? So APC, all of them now have their own vote. Now PDP and LDP, they kind of shared their vote between northerners and southeast people, or just southern people. You get? So this interview now, they are now discussing the possibility of P2B winning if El-Rufai should convince the northerners to vote P2B. This one is with coalition or with no coalition. Like if El-Rufai, because El-Rufai have already left um APC now, and the worst thing that he will expect now is for Tinubu to win again come 2027. So they are considering the possibility of P2B winning if El-Rufai should convince the northerners to vote P2B. Now the vote is no longer going to be shared between P2B and Atiku. Everything now, both the ones on PDP side, the one on Labour Party side, the one on SDP, all of them will just combine and support P2B. That is going to be a very strong major challenge, but I don't know if Atiku and PDP as a whole is going to consider this. But looking at what is going on in PDP right now, PDP need that coalition. PDP is falling down day by day. They used to be number one political party in Nigeria, but now APC have taken over, and for PDP to rise again, for them to get that ground, they need this combination, this coalition, whether in one party or just within themselves. They just come out to support one person, give all their vote, all their support to P2B. That is going to make a very great change. That is what this interview is all about. So I want you to pay attention to
Stakeholder
this
from the
video.
People's Democratic Party, Mr. Fabi, the narrative about your party doesn't look good
at all.
And you can see the national chairman of your party also admitting this is not Delta, at least, because it has historically been a PDP state. It does point, and of course the defection of Mr. Okowa. Many people may have looked at the governor and thought, okay, well, this happens, if you're trying to think about your political future, you better join where you think you can win. But Ifeanyi Okowa and Delta State, what's happening with your party? Is it really falling apart?
Well, thank you very much. Quite unfortunately, the party actually zoned itself to where it is today, and it's quite, like I said, unfortunate. The issue of defection, for me, is not a breaking news. It's not something new, because it's been there, it's been out there. There's been body languages, there's been moves and all that. We knew it was going to come, but initially we were told a number of them would defect sometimes August, September. And one wonders why they have to bring it back. And but that's all politics. But for me, it's quite sad that the PDP, with all it has become, with all it has done, has found itself in this quagmire.
You started this conversation by saying they zoned themselves to where
PDP zoned itself to where it was.
What does that mean?
Because any organization must, you have leadership, and the leadership must be awake to their responsibilities. We found, unfortunately, the leadership of the PDP are found wanting, in this regard. They are unable to put the party in the right channel, in the right path that would even advance the cause of the
When
country.
you say the leadership, who are you referring to?
There are leadership in the party. We have organs of the party.
The national chairman?
The National Working Committee.
National Working Committee
Then
of the
we
party.
have the NEC.
Okay.
That NWC is just to, to manage the party day-to-day activity of the party, raise proposals.
So you're saying they're not putting the party first?
Unfortunately, the NWC under Damagun has not done well. In barely 16 months, they've collapsed the party. I am not happy about it because I was there right from the inception. I knew how the party was being managed. So they may not like it, but it's the truth because I'm a member of the party. For me, I think it's quite sad because they should have been alive to their responsibilities. They shouldn't have allowed, because you are there in trust, in confidence, for the people. But they failed in all that. There are crises. A lot of people try to blame. I have to digress a bit. A lot of people try. So when I hear people blaming Atiku Abubakar, I don't join them. Not because I'm close to Atiku, but the thing is, we have an organization. We have a party that has a number of people, numbers of organs that are saddled with one responsibility or the other. So if you expect Atiku to now say, to take the position of those people that are saddled with the mandate to run the party, then you are not being fair to Atiku. So each time we talk, he said, we have people we put in place.
Well, you have to understand, Mr. Fabi, many people believe that since that zoning was done, when the presidency was given to, when the presidential ticket to run for president of the PDP was given to Atiku, that was where the downfall started.
That was not where the downfall started.
No, that's what a lot of the stakeholders in your party said. That's what Mr. Wike said.
That is Mr. Wike.
Yes,
that is
but
not
a lot of people believe that was the linchpin. That was the point.
It was not. It was not. The party had been having its challenges even before 2023. We had challenges. The party had serious challenge in 2015. It has in 2019. So this 2023, you couldn't have said it's because of zoning. As far as I'm concerned, it's not about zoning. There are other hidden issues. Some people just come around zoning and say,
what are these hidden issues?
Okay, the issues have been that, number one is about interest.
Whose interest?
Individual interest. Now, that's exactly what I'm saying. Interest can conflict, and that is what you see reflected in the PDP.
I'll come back to you on this one because we really need to. If you said we have to say the truth,
that is the truth.
So let us start saying the truth.
So we're saying it now. Yes,
let's come to Mr. Dahiru. He's been laughing and biting his lips since this conversation started. Talk to us a little bit about this situation. We heard the former Senate President, Bukola Saraki, saying, "Oh, we will reposition. We will fix this." Is it fixable before 2027 at least?
Well, let me start by sympathizing with my brother, my good friend and brother here, for what's happening in the PDP, because as far as I'm concerned, and I've stated it, quite clearly in many other platforms, the wages of sin is that, and the PDP is right now on the throes of death because it committed a mortal sin in 2023. And that sin was not zoning its presidential candidacy to the South. I had warned that the wind of presidency in 2023 was blowing south. And if the PDP feeds a northern candidate, it means it will be sailing against the wind. And if you do that, you are likely to risk your boat capsizing and sinking into oblivion. And that seems to be what's happening in PDP. The girl of defecation you are saying is just a symptom of a deeper ailment. You see, when the PDP violated the zoning arrangement, it created a problem for the PDP because the PDP's strongest support base, the most consistent support base for the PDP has been the southern half of Nigeria, the southeast, the south-south, and of course, the areas in the north you call the middle belt. They've been the most consistent support base of the PDP. And so when this group came out to say, look, we want the presidency in 2023, and the APC too bowed to that pressure. You could see the concerted effort within the APC to shift power to the south. It reflected in the primary election, where the winner, the first runner-up, and the second runner-up all came from the southern half of the country. So it showed you the effort that was also put in that party. But the PDP said it wanted to win an election. It wanted to take advantage of the electoral fortune of the North, which happens to be the largest voting demography in Nigeria. And we had wanted to say, look, PDP's priority for 2023 shouldn't be winning an election, but simply consolidating into the post-Buhari era. Because Buhari, as the sitting president, would hope for his party to win one way or the other.
So
when PDP violated that zoning formula,
yes,
it betrayed is most consistent support base, which is the South.
Safabi.
And with the emergence of a Southern president in the person of Ahmed Bola Tinubu, what you see happening now was what happened in 2003, when the southern part of the country is now coalescing around one of their own. And you know why this is important for us to understand? The 8-year rule of President Muhammadu Buhari was the most divisive in the history of Nigeria, the most sectional. Buhari instituted Arewa privilege in Nigeria that needed to be checked by power shift to the south. This was where the PDP didn't quite get it right. It was like a matter of do or die affair.
I mean, I think you're making reference to that article that you wrote.
I wrote that article way before the primaries.
Okay.
And everything that was projected in that article is happening now.
What's happening now? Mr. Fabi, I want to get to you. You heard him. We didn't have a conversation before this interview, but he's basically saying what we've heard a lot of other people saying. Some people believe that the problem inside the PDP is the fact that many people like you, Mr. Fabi, have refused to own up to the fact that you made that mistake in the 2023 elections. That zoning problem was the reason why you had such a paradigm shift, and the party hasn't been able to recover from that. Now we're hearing the former Senate President Bukola Saraki saying, look, we're going to reposition, we're going to get this right. And he says, look, those that don't want to be in the party, they should go, so that we who want to be here can actually get that right. If Atiku decides to run again in 2027, isn't that the final nail on the coffin of the PDP? At least that's what a lot of people are saying.
I don't think so. And again, I like to say that I didn't quite agree with my brother that zoning was the problem. Zoning wasn't the problem. Those who started making noise about this zoning, especially in the PDP, has reason for making the noise. And this started when someone who had expected to be vice presidential candidate couldn't get it. Then they turned around and started saying zoning. Perhaps if that person has been picked, everybody knows what I'm talking about, all of this wouldn't have gotten any traction. Just hold on, please.
There was a way.
Just hold on.
Let's focus right
just hold
now.
on. You didn't.
There was a way.
You want to make me lose my thoughts. I don't want to make you lose my thoughts. I want to enjoy that.
Just give me a minute.
If you keep interjecting.
There was a zone. There was a movement in and that's what Mr. Dyer is saying there. There was a movement to the south when it comes to the presidency. Come 2023. Did the PDP not play into that?
Just hold on. What movement to the south? PDP set up zoning committee. And the zoning committee came out and said it's left open for everybody. Now, southerner, northerner. So Atiku contested, other southerner contested, and Atiku won the primaries. So what are we saying? So if the PDP, and again, there's something that people are not looking at.
The conduct of its affairs shall be carried out in such a manner as to reflect the federal character of Nigeria. And it also goes further to say that there shall be no dominance of persons from a few states or from a few ethnic or other sectional groups in that government or in any of its agencies, essentially saying there needs to be a balance. Do you think the political class understands this balance? And I'm talking across board now. Do you think there is a significant understanding of this balance? Because unless there is that understanding, we may be calling for an injection of the zoning formula into the Constitution. What are your thoughts?
I think they understand, because since 1999, the zoning formula has been largely complied with. So between 1999 and 2007, you had a southern president. And when the president himself was living in Olusegun Obasanjo, he worked for a transfer of power to the north. And Umar Musa Yar'Adua emerged. And by 2010, unfortunately, we lost our president, may God rest his soul. And his deputy then, Goodluck Jonathan, assumed the mantle of leadership of Nigeria. And this is where I also must draw attention to how the PDP has severely and severally violated the zoning formula. Let me state it on record today too, that it was my opinion even then that President Goodluck Jonathan shouldn't have run in the 2011 elections, because it was still the turn of the north. And there was such a commitment to that zoning that the then party chairman, Vincent Obulafo, who was from the southeast, made an open declaration that no southerner should vie in the 2011 election because it was still the turn of the north. And guess what? The major beneficiary and the champion of the detention of zoning in 2011 was Atiku Abubakar, who ran against Jonathan, and that was the first time the PDP experienced a crack that would eventually lead to his defeat in 2015. People didn't pay attention. When Atiku ran against Jonathan, even though he lost, something phenomenal happened in that popular election that has never happened in Nigeria before. When an incumbent president will run against a challenger and lose a number of states, Atiku won 5 states from the north: Bauchi, Kanu, Niger, Sokoto, and Zamfara. In that primary election, it was a statement of the anger, the frustration in the north against Jonathan's violation of the zoning formula in 2011. And when they couldn't get the ticket in PDP, the CPC was put together hurriedly, and the Muhammadu Buhari ran on the platform of CPC and garnered 12.5 million votes. And by 2015, southern elements came together to say, yes, indeed, it's a return of the north. Again, to preserve our national unity, the Tinubus of this world, the Ametis of this world, and others came together and supported Buhari to become president, who was the choice of the north. In 2023, faithfully, the northerners that benefited from that, the violence of their southern compatriots, decided to repay, and that's why Tinubu emerged first at the powers of the APC and became president today. But the PDP again, like he did in 2011 and 2015, decided to repeat the same mistake in 2023, when the same Atiku, who had protested against the violation of zoning by Goodluck Jonathan in 2011 and 2015, when he led 5 governors out of the PDP into the APC, decided to violate the zoning himself. So for me, he's the cause of this problem. And let me put it in context. In 2019, the PDP decided that the reason they lost the 2015 election was because they violated zoning. And so they set up a committee that was chaired by Ekorebadu, the former Deputy Senate President. And they reached an agreement that 2019 election should be an all-northern affair. And that was why no sound appeal the presidential form in the PDP to contest the 2019 presidential election. And so somebody like Wike supported Tambua with all his might, while Peter Obi and his Southeast people supported Atiku to emerge. And that election, Atiku gave a very good performance. In fact, a lot of people still believe that Atiku won the election, but was rigged out. He came close. That was the kind of performance he put up. I had expected by 2023, Atiku Abubakar would have supported the Southerner, like a Peter Obi, who supported him in the previous election, while Tambua should have supported Wike. And let us see will a match from the South among these two. But unfortunately, Atiku came into the ring to struggle with Peter Obi, Wike, and co. And Tambua ended up, you see, Tambua is a northerner, a Hausa-speaking northerner, and a Muslim from the same north that Atiku stepped down for Atiku against Wike, the lone southerner in the race. If you were Wike, would you not feel betrayed? After the support you gave to both of these candidates in 2019,
okay.
We not feel bitter. We not do what he's doing.
Mr. Dahiru, there are so many issues to raise
who supported Atiku in 2019.
Yes.
We did not revolt and do protest vote against
it's understandable, but at the end of the day,
early.
So there's just a second, Mr. Dahiru. Just a second, because I understand the passion, and everyone is worried about just one thing. But there is a background to it all. And well, let me come to you, Mr. Fabi, just before Kayla takes over. In 2020, there was something Mr. Dahiru said that I'm hoping that we can just clear the air on that. In 2020, the vice president said that Nigeria's present cracks may lead to its breakup if we are not careful. And this was as far back as 2020. And it would seem like one way or the other we're repeating these mistakes. For you, Mr. Fabi, you have already made some comments and said, look, we need to make progress. Do you think we should legislate zoning?
Of course, as long as it's going to advance the cause of our democracy. I don't have any, as a matter of fact, it's because it's not legislated upon that we're having all of this. Because if the Constitution has made it abundantly clear that this has to be at so point it goes there, at so point it comes there, then there wouldn't have been. That is the essence of laws. That's the essence of rules, in our engagement. I don't have any problem with that, but I hope National Assembly will look at it and do the needful. Now, outside that, let me say that I totally disagree with my brother here. that Atiku is the problem of the party. Atiku has never been the problem of the party.
You're the only person that has been saying
I am not the only
that
person. I am not. Just hold on.
Everyone is saying that Atiku is the problem.
Atiku is not the problem. Atiku cannot be. They should justify why Atiku is the problem. Number one is his right. Listen.
It is his right.
Listen. So just hold on. Constitution gives him right to run.
Yes.
Number two, the party has rules and has organs that take decisions. He went into the contest. He didn't stop anybody from running, and the party voted in. So why should you put that on Atiku? This is the question. We have a party. Atiku did not go to the field and say it must be me. He imposed himself on anybody. No, he went through democratic process that is laid down by the party. Then why are you putting the blame on Atiku? Why didn't they vote him out? Why didn't they vote him out? Anybody who is saying Atiku is the problem does not even understand the dynamics. We are an insider. I know more, even than my brother. What plays on in the party that we cannot be watching our dirty linen here? What
I know is that Prophet Dahiru, I have a few things I want to write down. You will help me to prophesy.
Atiku can never be the problem.
Because it's as though, I want you to know that as a prophet, you are appreciated in your own hotel. Don't allow these people to make you feel like you're not appreciated. You are appreciated. No, I have a list of things that I will give to you after the program. Then you now prophesy for me. Thank you. Because everything that he said is coming to pass. And you see, listen, I've heard you talk about the fact that there was a democratic process. They should have voted him out. They should have said, don't give him tickets. Yes, these are things that should have happened. Yes. But you see, ultimately, there's something we say reading the room, right? And we're not talking about the party. They're talking about the nation. So when you're looking at the dynamic, and that's where Mr. Dahiru is coming in from, when you're looking at the dynamics of the country politically, you can tell where the winds are moving. And then as a party, as a party, you take the hard decisions to position yourself to make the most of the winds of change. The accusation against Mr. Fabi, you in particular, and all those who are friends of Atiku Abubakar, is that you went ahead without reading the winds. Now you're now in a situation where Mr. Dahiru said you are going, this is the right of passage.
You are mixing two things together. You are mixing two things together. No, see, there's something you guys are not getting here.
Yes.
I will continue to tell you that you can't keep all of these blames on Atiku.
He's trying to do a coalition.
No, just hold on.
Give me a minute. He's trying to do a coalition right now.
Right? Who is not doing a coalition?
No, the coalition now.
Is it Atiku coalition? It's coalition of Nigerians.
Yes, but what we've heard from the Governors Forum of the People's Democratic Party is we are not forming any coalition. Join us as a party. Let us win. We are not doing any coalition.
Have they taken the step to do that?
Already.
Listen. Have these same governors, have they taken any step to doing that? Did you hear them mandate from the Ibadan meeting? Don't let these guys put wood over our eyes. We're not stupid. All of us.
Okay, guys, welcome back. It's as if APC like PDP, they are in desperate time right now, and I think what the other man is suggesting will be of more benefit to APC, because at the end of the day, if all of them should come out the way that all of them came out 2023, they are just giving Tinubu a free pass. Okay, they're just giving Tinubu a free pass. So what is happening in PDP party now should even be a lesson to them, to know that they are no longer the oga at the top. The time where they used to answer the highest political party is in the past. So right now they need that coming together. They need that coalition per se. Even if that coalition is not going to happen like all of them forming one group, at least there should be indoor meeting, a round table meeting between these people. Even Sowore himself, I don't know if Sowore is coming out for 2027 election, but if he is going desperately like that, seeing what Tinubu is planning, like the moves that Tinubu is making right now, them going differently is going to really affect them. So for this plan to work, that's if they really want to make Tinubu to be out of presidency in 2027, then this their indifference, individualism is not going to work. I like the idea that this man so much bring, that if Rufai, because all this thing that we are talking election is not to, yes, forget that not they have their own, like they have their own issue, you get, but if not should decide on who to support, let's say Buhari with his influence and El-Rufai with his own influence, in fact all the northern cabals, northern leaders should come together and say let's look for someone from the south, because that's what people want to hear now. Let's come together, because the north has already shown Nigeria their own shege. If to the extent that even the northerns are saying that the problem of Nigeria is northern leaders. So if they want to regain that power, they should start with south. I'm speaking about political now, not trying to be sentiment. They should just try and look for southern person, P2B preferably, and push the person as their candidate. Yes, that is the only way that this whole Tinubu's plan is going to dismantle. But if they are coming to play the same card that they play in 2023, it's not going anywhere. PDP do not even stand a chance at all, because then their party is already divided. They already scattered. I don't even know. It's like it's only Atiku that is the strong cabal in PDP right now. Their strong men is leaving. They are more even come 2026. Even with this remaining year now more, because APC they are doing underground work. They are ministering, like they are converting souls. You know how Christians used to go out to convert souls for Christ. APC people are converting souls for Tinubu, and they are channeling their energy for PDP. Because remember, PDP came second in 2023 election. So imagine a case where they can be able to convert these people to APC, the second people to APC. Imagine what is going to happen. In fact, imagine that Tinubu is going to give P2B sef, is going to be very very, like very very much. They should not allow this happen. They should use their sense and know this is not the time to have pride or anything. Coming together is what is going to give them the best solution right now, and they should make very good use of it. That's just it. That is what they have to do, because all this on and off, they are just giving Tinubu their free pass. They're just, because the vote at the end of the day, the vote will be divided, and Tinubu will go back to his throne, and we will still continue with our our shego number 2. They should not allow this to come to pass. They should now take this advice and do what they have to do. Guys, thank you so much for staying with me up to this moment in this live. Thank you so much. Please like this video and share it as well. Okay, thank you so much. I'll be with you again tomorrow.